Welcome back to my KEEPUP channel. Keir Starmer defends cutting winter fuel payments for pensioners and warns of a painful budget as he blames Tories for leaving economy worse than we ever imagined in gloomy speech, but defends handing striking unions billions. Sir Keir Starmer defended cutting winter fuel payments for pensioners today, laying the blame at the door of the Tories for leaving the economy worse than we ever imagined. In a gloomy speech from the Downing Street Rose Garden, he warned that the first Labour budget in 14 years, due in October, would be painful because the economic inheritance from the Tories had been dire. It comes as critics suggest the PM is rolling the pitch for tax rises and public service cuts when Chancellor Rachel Reeves delivers her changes. Sir Keir defended the decision to make the winter fuel allowance available only to benefit recipients, saying everyone including pensioners would benefit from Labour's long-term decisions. But he then defended handing out £14 billion to end strikes by militant rail and medical unions, without demanding they modernise their working practices. "We ended the national strikes that have crippled our country for years, because I defy anyone to tell me that you can grow the economy when people can't get to work, because the transport system is broken, or can't return to work because they're stuck on an NHS waiting list," he said. "We've done more in 7 weeks than the last government did in 7 years. And these are just the first steps towards the change that people voted for, the change that I'm determined to deliver." Laura Trott, the Tory Shadow Chief Secretary to the Treasury, said, after promising over 50 times in the election not to raise taxes on working people, Labour are now rolling the pitch to break even more promises. "The Chancellor is entitled to raise taxes to pay for her expensive choices and above-inflation pay rises demanded by her union paymasters, but she should have had the courage to be honest from the start. This is a betrayal of people's trust and we will hold them to account for their actions." Sir Keir compared his task in number 10 to the communities that rallied round to clean up in the wake of the summer's riots. While the violence and disorder showed the cracks in our society after 14 years of populism and failure, he said they also revealed the cure. Sir Keir Starmer said in 2011 he did not doubt that the courts could respond to the riots as needed, saying, "This time, to be honest with you, I genuinely didn't know. Every day of that disorder, literally every day, we had to check the precise number of prison places and where those places were to make sure we could arrest, charge and prosecute people quickly. Not having enough prison places is about as fundamental a failure as you can get, and those people throwing rocks, torching cars, making threats, they didn't just know the system was broken, they were betting on it, gaming it. They thought, they'll never arrest me, and if they do, I won't be prosecuted, and if I am, I won't get much of a sentence." They saw the cracks in our society after 14 years of failure and they exploited them. That's what we've inherited. Not just an economic black hole, a societal black hole, and that's why we have to take action and do things differently. Sir Keir's speech came ahead of what has been dubbed a fortnight of *****, in which ministers are set to make a series of doom-laden announcements, blamed on the Tories. But Tory Chairman Richard Fuller said, "This is nothing but a speech to distract the public from the promises Starmer made that he never had any intention of keeping." In fewer than 100 days, Labour has dumped its ambition of public service and become engulfed in sleaze, handed out bumper payouts to its union paymasters with no strings attached, and laid the groundwork to harm pensioners and tax working people. The speech will be followed by Rachel Reeves' autumn budget in October, where she is expected to hike taxes and squeeze spending. In an unusual move, Sir Keir invited around 50 members of the public to attend the speech. Number 10 said the audience was made up of familiar faces he met throughout the general election campaign, including representatives from business, education and public services. The PM said, "Next week, Parliament will return. The business of politics will resume, but it will not be business as usual. Because we can't go on like this anymore. No more politics of performance, papering over the cracks, or division and distraction. Things are being done differently now. When I stood on the steps of Downing Street 2 months ago, I promised this government would serve people like you, apprentices, teachers, nurses, small business owners, firefighters, those serving the country every day. I promised that we would be judged by our actions, not by our words. We will do the hard work needed to root out 14 years of rot and reverse a decade of decline," he is expected to say. We'll fix the foundations, protecting taxpayers' money and people's living standards. We'll reform our planning system to build the new homes we need. We'll level up workers' rights so people have security, dignity, and respect. We'll strengthen our border security. We'll crack down on crime. We'll transform public transport. And we'll give our children the opportunities they need to succeed. Source: dailymail.co.uk. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.